Hello everyone, I hope you all are doing good, and this is Khushbu, your science teacher and math teacher. So here today we are going to start with the new chapter, that is chapter number 9 of class 6, the living organism and their surroundings. You all know that we all are living organisms and we live on certain conditions. We are not like that we can live anywhere. Even if I tell you to live on Mars, can you be living there? No, it's not possible. Why? Because the conditions applicable there, the conditions that are available there are not suitable according to us. In the same way, even on Earth planet, we cannot just live anywhere on this planet. If I tell you to survive inside the ocean, like under the ocean, so you are not able to do that as well. Like similarly, there are certain animals who are having their own type of living habitat. Okay, so this condition, the habitat depends upon the surrounding. Fine, so let's begin this chapter now. Here, we are having a condition that determines whether the organism is living or a non-living. So how we are going to decide that living organism and non-living organisms are there? One thing is that living beings are made up of cells. You know, this is the basic unit of living, the fundamental unit of living. You all know that everything, every matter on this planet or in this universe is made up of atom. This is the basic unit. In the similar way, when we talk about the living things, so it depends upon the cells. We all are made up of different cells, and that different cells are made different humans, different organisms. Okay, even some animals are there like amoeba, which have only one cell, and that is their own body. Isn't it interesting? Yes. So now see, the second point is living being obtain and use energy. We all know that if we need to survive, any living organism need to survive, so they have to eat for that and they need energy for that. Do you remember Jadoo? Yes. So what he needs? In that movie we can see that Jadoo needs a sunlight to survive. That is its energy. In the same way, we need food to survive, like we eat sandwiches, chapati, vegetables, and moreover pizza, burger and all also included these days. But all these things provide us energy to survive. That is why we call ourselves as a living being. Do you know that does your chair, have you seen, does your chair, your table need any energy to survive? No, you do not give anything to them to survive day to day life. It is like their same to same, like after few days. So living being grows and develops. So another thing is, when we provide energy to them, so with this energy they develop their body and it grows. Have you ever planted any small sapling, and that after providing water and sunlight it to for few days, it grows and make itself a bigger one? True now? Okay, and in the similar way, if we plant a seed, so it reproduce, it make itself to grow into a small sapling. So this reproduction process only applicable in the living organisms. If something is not living, it cannot reproduce. If we place a chair, so chair cannot make another chair by itself. It is not possible because it is not living, right? And the living being adapt to their environment. This is very important. Okay, have you seen a polar bear? Have you seen giraffe? Can you see all these animals roaming everywhere, every part of this planet? No. Why? Because these are only adapted to a certain environment and there only they can live. Correct? So here also, like the people who are living in UK and the people who are living in Australia are both having different environmental condition and they are adapted to that. So they cannot just survive anywhere, like immediately if we change their position, they change their place, so immediately they need certain time to survive. even also for that, like if we visit to certain cold planet, cold condition, cold environment, so we wear a lot of sweaters and pullovers, so to cover ourselves from the cold environment outside. Correct. So here how the living organism respond to the stimuli. Like students, what is response and what is stimuli? Let me give you an example. If there is a lion in front of you, let's suppose you are trekking in this forest and there is a lion. So what response you give after looking at there? So you will immediately try to run, or you will be having sweat, you will be afraid, right? So this is a response to the stimuli, and stimuli here is a lion. So whatever response we are giving to certain thing, that thing is known as stimuli. Okay, so this is what the difference between living and the non-living organisms. Now moving forward, now you can see, so here we are having certain pictures of the animals, and have you wondered how animals are able to survive in this wild? Yes, there is a term for that, that is known as adaptation. What is this adaptation? To adapt the environmental conditions, to adapt the surrounding conditions accordingly after some time. Okay, like bats. Bats sleeps during the day and fly at night time when it is cooler. So this is their adaptation. And here you can see the birds like ducks, geese, penguins. They have webbed feet, and that help them paddle through the water. Okay, you can see the picture here that they are having a webbed feet there, right? And here second thing is the physical adaptation. Like see the giraffe not always had this kind of long neck. Now it is having, because it has physically environment has adapted itself. So giraffes, this famously long necks allow them to browse leaves off the top of the grassland trees, helping them avoid food competition from the other herbivores. Okay, so this is why they serve, so that they can survive more. This helps them to do that. Now coming to the point, habitat. What is this? Habitat is the different type of conditions, areas through on which the different animals are adapted themselves. Like there are mainly three types of habitats. One is aquatic, terrestrial and mountainous animals. You know that aquatic animals are those which lives underwater. Terrestrial animals which lives on land with normal conditions, not too hot and too cold environment there. And mountainous animals are such animals which mainly lives on the mountainous area. Like you can see here a polar bear or a musk deer. So these are habited to the cool environment. Okay, so this is what their habitat. But habitat again itself divided into two components, that is the biotic and abiotic component. What are now these biotic and abiotic components? Anything that is a living thing, living environment, is comes under biotic. Okay, bio means living, something that is life. And abiotic, or abiotic, we can call it as like this. So it include all these conditions that is not living but necessary for living. Like biotic component, you know that plants are living, microorganisms are living, animals are living, and we humans are also included in this category, animals. So we call ourselves as a biotic component of this natural habitat. Here this habitat is what? Natural habitat. Natural, that nature has been made up of these two types of components. One is biotic, one is abiotic. In biotic, we have plants, microorganisms and animals. Now abiotic components, because these are the very essential components for making these biotic animals or biotic organisms to survive. Let's suppose like if we are not having light, light is the ultimate source of energy, you know. If we are not having light, then we do not have plants, because plants do photosynthesis process, then only we can survive, these plants can survive. And now when plants are there, so we can eat plants, and as some herbivores animals are also eating plants, then only they can survive. So indirectly they are dependent, these biotic components are directly or indirectly dependent on these abiotic components. Here we have water and air. Don't you drink water daily? Or if you can survive without water? No, we cannot. So we have to take these abiotic components for our survival. This is very necessary. Why temperature? Because temperature, moderate temperature and favorable temperature for any kind of particular animal is necessary to be survived. Like the polar bear, I have given just an example. So that polar bear needs a cooler environment compared to the giraffe that is living in some humid environment. So the temperature variation you can see there, right? Now soil as well is very important. How come? See, to grow plants, different types of soils we need, like black soil, alluvial soil, red soil. So various kinds of soils are needed by different plants for their survival. So this is how, and then the soil depend, plants depend on soil, and then plants, on the plants we are dependent. So this is how the cycle is going on, and everything is there is linked, right? Like these factors are linked with these factors, and these are eventually itself are connected with each other. Plants and animals are interconnected, soils and these climate factors are interconnected. So we can say here that the interaction of biotic and abiotic component is necessary for the life to survive on this planet, and this is what make our earth planet very unique. We will further take more topics from this chapter, and further the next video will be coming which covers more even deeper topics, and we will see how different animals adapt their environment and what other factors, what other terminologies we can use, like phytoplankton, zooplankton. So we all will learn about these topics also. So this is all for today. Thank you so much.